By the early 1800s, the entire Hudson Valley was filled with farms, mills, mines, and quarries which were created to meet the needs of the growing country. Goods from along the Hudson could be taken by ship to New York City or out through the mouth of the Hudson to the rest of the country, or to Europe, or the Caribbean, and other points overseas. As the population grew and began to push west, routes were needed to bring goods from the new Midwestern lands back to the east and beyond. In 1817, construction was started on the Erie Canal, which would link the Hudson River with Lake Erie and points beyond. This would open a water route all the way to the American Midwest. It took over 8 years to build the canal. In the end, it was 363 miles long, 4 feet deep, and 40 feet wide. 83 locks were used to raise the boats up the 568 feet between the Hudson River and Lake Erie. This is what the end of the canal in Lake Erie looks like today. Now here is what the canal looked like years ago. Very few ships had motors in the early days. They had just been invented. So barges on the canal were towed by mule, which walked along a path next to the canal and pulled the barges the entire way. When the canal first opened, freight averaged about 2 miles per hour, and that was the fastest way to get goods to market in those days. There were great celebrations when the canal opened in 1825. New York's Governor Clinton sailed down the canal from Buffalo to New York City. His trip took 10 days. When he arrived, he dumped a barrel of water from Lake Erie into the Hudson River in New York City. The celebration was called the Wedding of the Waters. When the canal first opened, it was considered one of the great wonders of the world, though within 20 years, the first rail line was completed from New York to Buffalo, which eventually made the canal obsolete. During its time, though, the Erie Canal helped make settlement in the American Midwest practical. It also meant that many of the goods which were produced in the Midwest had to move through New York City to reach their destination. This helped make New York the important business center that it is today.